In recent years, all farms have seen an increase in costs, with the cost of labor being one of the most significant. No matter the crop, this is having a major impact on the overall cost of food. Thanks for having us at the farm today, Lisa. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Wish I could have had you over when we were harvesting, but it's just so busy. So maybe next time.
Yeah, I can imagine it is. So how was the harvest this year?
It was actually pretty good. We had a decent crop. The weather was fantastic. So the crew was able to get off a lot of bins in a very short time, which was great for us.
Does the size of the crop, does that affect the labor costs?
Yeah, it doesn't actually affect us that much. Every year we need about the same amount of workers. We need about 30 people in here to get a crop of apples off, and we have about 100 acres here.
So for those labor costs, have you noticed that an increase in that? And also, are you finding it hard to find people?
Yeah, so labor costs have increased a lot. In the last 5 years, our labor costs have gone up 25%, and in orchards, 40% of our cost are labor. And as far as getting people, it's been more challenging to get local people. It's seasonal work and it's very labor intensive. Finding labor in farming is incredibly challenging. One of the main reasons is because it's seasonal and it's hard to make a living off a seasonal job. So it is hard to fill positions for sure. We have use the temporary foreign worker program to bring both Jamaicans and Mexicans in, and that has been really great to have those guys. We still have local people as well, but it's challenging to find enough local people to do the jobs that we have here.
So besides picking the actual apples, what are some other labor costs associated with getting these apples to market?
Yeah, there's lots of other labor costs. Come with me and I'll show you.
All right.
So after we harvest the fruit, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. We've got to get those apples someplace where they can be packed out and sent to the grocery stores or to our own market. So this truck here behind us has to be loaded up with apples. We need a forklift driver, we need a truck driver, which requires a special license. So there's still a lot of labor that happens even after harvest season.
So after the apples are picked and sorted and then they're loaded on trucks and they're driven out of here, does that put an end to your labor cost?
No, I wish it did, but no, it doesn't. We're getting ready for next year. We have to get the equipment ready. There's a lot of paperwork to get done. This is just one part of what we do. Farming never stops.
I think the biggest thing I've learned about the labor on the farm is just the different types of labor, you know, from people driving the trucks to prepping the land to doing the accounting work to all the little things in between. So I think there's the diversity of labor to run a farm is quite extensive. But every farm's a little different. You know, there's different costs involved, and I'm trying to understand how that really affects the cost of food. Dr. Yurdo, can you help us out?
The important point to keep in mind is that agricultural labor tends to require a higher rate than the minimum wage. So for example, agricultural labor in 2015 was about $15 an hour. This rose to about $25 an hour by 2022. So Chris, the bottom line is that labor costs have gone up over the years due to inflationary pressures, and these costs have to be accounted for in the pricing of food.
Labor costs will continue to go up to keep up with inflation. We just have to figure out better ways to run the farm. And it's really important that the labor that we have is skilled labor, that there are people that know how to do the job and you're not retraining year after year. That's a really important part to having affordable labor, is having people that know how to do the jobs.
It has been awesome to spend some time today with Lisa on her family farm and learn more about how labor directly impacts the cost of food. I never would have guessed that 40% of the farm's overall costs are tied directly to labor. I've learned something, and I hope you've learned something too. Until next time, see you later.